Now to make a small lid for that. And small lid with a little finial, and that will be a nice display piece. Hope you like it. We'll see you in a bit. Well, hello my friends. Today I have an extremely special piece of wood that's been in my shop for a little while, and this was a gift from, I believe, Jim Green when he came over and did a little turning with me and brought me all kinds of pieces of wood. He brought me this beautiful, beautiful piece of zebra wood, leopard wood. I forgot exactly its name, but it is a beautiful piece with it, without a doubt. And I just finished up, well, it's actually not finished, but I just worked on this piece right now of ipe. And ipe is a tough wood to finish up. And of course this still needs the box. But I was recording this and I realized I was all the way through the turning, the first part of it, without turning on the darn camera. So I talked about how I mounted it, the advantages and all that stuff, and nothing was on the recording. So I'll start it over again with this one and leave that one aside for me to finish, but not do a video on. On this particular case, let me get you back on the material. And this will be the same thing I did with that other one. I found the center going corner to corner, and I drilled it for it to go into my worm screw instead of my in-between centers. Now, as you know, I do most of 99% of my work, more than that, is in between centers. Very rarely do I use this system with a worm screw. Now, there are advantages and disadvantages of doing this. And the advantages, first of all, is that you're able to go in and you're able to work a little bit without your tailstock in, because you're well supported. But the disadvantage is that wherever you put that hole in, that's locked in. That's where it's going to be. So if you are slightly off from corner to corner, there isn't much you can do about it except put up with it, and you're off from corner to corner. Where if you are in between centers, you can always wiggle it a little bit if you need to bring it to your center. Now this is going to be a winged box, and the wood is pretty dense, so it has a good grip on this worm screw. And that's the one thing too, is if you're using a worm screw, make sure the wood is pretty well together. No punkiness stuff, no splitting, no nothing of that sort, where it's going to hold up for you. You know, even though I don't rely on that being, you know, my source of holding, I rely on still being between centers. And I'm always between centers whenever I can, regardless of the situation of how I'm mounted. Now, one thing that I will want to verify is to see how close I am to center. And you can already see that I'm slightly off. So, and that's the drawback. It really is. Of doing this setup. Because you can see that I'm 1/4 of an inch here and I'm right on the edge right over there. So that means that this wing would be a little bit longer. So the options are right now to take it off and recut it so it's true. Now, although you don't have to do it right now, at the end I could bring it back to the disc sander or something of that sort and sand down this edge, which won't have quite as much wood, and it will be easy enough to sand. But since I'm just starting off, I'm going to bring this back to the bandsaw and cut 1 blade width on this. Not the bandsaw, I'm sorry, my radial arm saw, which will give me the best cut on this. So I snuck it up slowly into there to end up with the same set as this. And this will go right back into its original location. Okay. Now I can also check the other directional and see how I did with that. And that's by, can check the opposite, the two sides, and see how I did with that by putting the pencil right on the edge and rotating it. And see how far off I am from one side versus the other. Right on the edge, I'm pretty good side to side. And right now I am pretty good this way as well. Yep, I would say that's pretty good. Now, I want to start doing the bottom, the 2 feet of the 4 feet of the piece, and start undermining it from back here. So this design ends up with a little bit of something like this. And I'm hoping I go deep enough to capture that much. And from this point right here, again, I end up with something like this. And of course the center. Now the first thing I do is I flatten up the bottom a little bit, so very little, almost take nothing off it. Okay, and just to make sure that these 4 points are all equal, which they should be. That should be about it. Speed on this, I'm going to speed it up quite a bit. 1200, 1500 RPM. Much easier to cut than the E-pick. Beautiful. So I'll come out a little bit more on here, but I still have to, and really have to steepen this up in order to be able to get anything out over here, or else I'll end up with these flat sides. So. Okay, it's just starting to touch over here. Okay, it's going to take a little while. Okay. I do not want to go any thinner than this on the legs, on the feet. Okay, and what I want it to do is to come up barely square. It's concave over there. So, and I want to maintain about 3/8 of an inch edging going through here. So, I'm going to turn it around so I can work from the opposite side and do the bowl. So keep it in between centers again for a little while until I get something established. And again, I'm going to go from out here because the bowl itself will end up right here. Okay. Then I'll do a decorative design over here. And the bowl going in will be right about here. So let's see how that works. From here on out, this will start rolling down slightly, and until it meets these lines. Let's see. Speed is still going at 1550 RPM. So I got almost an equal thickness all the way through. So just gotta follow up that same contour another 1/4 inch. Beautiful. Thickness is good. The sanding, once I get it through, it will taper it down just slightly without taking down any wood, really. Now, back to the drawing. I want to go right about here. Right in there. I actually want to do a design, a concave, and the actual bolt. So I got like 4 different lines there. The first 2 are for a bead. Not a bead, but you will see. Okay. That's for a decorative design with my tool, but not set up in the way that normally it would be. In other words, I'm not going to lay it flat. I want the lines to be more vertical. Let's see how that did. Well, to tell you the truth, with all the zebra striping, I really don't see it. And I ended up in the middle of my cut line. So I'm going to clean that up and do it one more time. Actually, this one right here is for a concave anyway. Like that. And I'm going to bring it all the way up to that other one. Okay. Back to my bead. And back to my line one more time. If this does not show up, I'm going to eliminate it because the effect of this wood with the leopard striping has a lot going on. But that shows up. That's good. Well, with a piece of wood like this, it would be a shame if I don't save a little bit of it, at least for some sort of a lid. So I'm going to go in there and part that out. So even though it's just a small piece, I can use this for some sort of a lid. Too nice of a piece to turn away. I'm going to go reverse to get back there. Undermine this a little bit. It's a little thick. Now this scraper cannot get in there, but if you got a round carbide cutter, that is the perfect opportunity to go in there and get a nice finish on that. Well, it's time to apply some Yorkshire grit to this piece. And see what it does. No, that does stay in the truck though. Although I don't understand why my battery on that's not charging up over there. This paper towel is leaving me a lot of garbage behind. It's fibers, which time to get it off the lathe so I can make the lid for this. This piece will be for my lid. Yeah, this is a piece of ash for the top, and that should look pretty good. Maple would have looked good as well. So this is going to be the lid. The first thing I'm going to do is make the bottom, the recess, leave a tenon in it so I can flip it, and then finish up the top. Because I got to be able to hold it up without it being supported between centers. Oh, almost got that. So here I'm ready to flip this over and mount it up on inside of my jaws. Probably expansion mode all the way inside this ring. This one might not be big enough, or the jaws might not be big enough to catch this one. So we'll see. But that's the game plan. That way I can support the whole thing in there. And if that didn't work, then I would resort to something else. But look at this. There's always a way. It's just a matter of which one is going to be the most appropriate method for the particular turning you're on. So I am not relying on the design of the jaws, which is, you know, your work is made to go out here. But I'm relying on the mechanism of the jaws and the fact that it does have a shoulder over there. This is not for major turning. This is not for turning the whole bowl. So I don't do this for the full turning of the lathe, but for something like this as a temporary, so I can finish up this bottom of this piece. That's beautiful. That is perfectly acceptable. That's not going anywhere. That's a good mount. I would trust that over any vacuum chuck or anything of that sort. And you know, yes, I can still put my live center in there, but I got so little turning to do here that I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to remove that thing, sand this with the lathe running, and apply a finish to it. I don't want that to sit on the bottom of the table. I want the legs to be at the bottom of the table. Look how true that is. You know, some of you guys really worry too much about me, on what I'm doing and where my hands are going, or whether if I'm wearing a face shield or not. And really, when doing things like this, the safety that I'm always aware of is not so much this flying off and hitting me on the face or anything like that. Is the fact being distracted or getting distracted, and while turning forgetting where these things are going. That is the most dangerous part of this turning, of any wood turning with me, just about. And I don't mean a nice piece that has no wings at all, you know, it's just a little bowl. Yes, you can get distracted, something like this, and you know, if it goes into your finger, it can cut you. I mean, it can cut you. But this is not nearly as dangerous as turning something like this right here. This hits you, it's going to break your fingers, it's going to break your hand, it's going to chop a good part of it off. Not a cut and you pull away. This is a bang and you break it away. So, you know, there's always dangers around the lathe, but those dangers are significantly, well, I said that, significantly decreased with your skill level. So if you are skilled and you are not fearful of the lathe, then the odds of you getting hurt are much less than being fearful. Well, I don't know. Yak, 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 yak. But anyway, it's a beautiful, beautiful piece. I think it's a beautiful piece. No pop on this one. It's a loose fitting lid. It will be a nice keepsake box. Nice keepsake box. And it sits absolutely beautifully. Oh, you can't see that. And it sits absolutely beautiful on a table top. This one is going to need a little finish, and that's an elegant piece as well. I like the lower profile actually a little bit better than that one. But love the wood grain on this. Look at that zebra striping. I mean, thanks Jim Green. I think it was Jim who brought me this when he came down. A nice guy. Not only did he bring me this, he did a little turning, but you know, he left me a beautiful tip, which I did not want. You know, but you know, he put it on my drill press without me seeing it. So when he left and I came in here, you know, that was quite a gift from him. Thank you. And thank you for all the great work and all the great words that you always put up on my turnings. It's what this is all about, is having friends like that. I'm really not sure. You know, yes, this is a beautiful wood, right? I mean, you know, there's no taking away from this. And it's beautifully turned. It's got nice profile. But this has a certain elegance to it that I think that is not here on this one. And the sizes are about the same. So that with this, that would look pretty cool. Not the right size, but that with this would look pretty cool. And of course, this with this looks just as cool. Let me know what you think. Which one do you like the best, aside from the wood? You know, aside from the beautiful zebra on this, you know, look at this one. It has just a little bit of detail going around here. Just a little bit. Just a highlight of the pattern made with the texture tool. Split off by a line that's broken off on the outsides. I tried it on this one, but the zebra wood hid it too much, camouflaged it. And so I didn't pursue it. But I think that this longer, deeper channel in here is part of the enhancement that distinguishes one from the other, and that makes one maybe more appealing than the other. We'll see. See what you have to say. Thanks again. See you on the next turning. It's Alfred Taro signing off. And hopefully on the next turning that I go up, there will be a few more subscribers up there and a few more likes. I know, everybody has it. Every once in a while I put a video and it goes crazy on likes, and another one I'll put it up and it goes crazy on thumbs downs. You know, they really don't bother me. They really don't. Sometimes I actually feel left out if they're not coming in. It's like, hey, what's going on? There's always 4 or 5 that come in right away and click thumbs down. I mean, you know, if they're not coming in to giving me a thumbs down, I feel something is different. Something is lost. So keep coming, regardless of how you rate it. I would much rather have the thumbs ups, of course, but that's up to those that rate me in such a way.